What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Miata in all its broken glory. Today I got a little update video and some quick spark plugs because I want to check how the engine's running. So I want to pull out all these old plugs and stuff. I actually just got done driving, so it's pretty hot. So I'm not going to touch it too much yet. But yeah, there's some updates I got to do about the car. One thing is, this fender got folded in like a piece of paper. It was completely bashed in. I had to pull it out. You see it messed up the paint, and then this started falling out. I don't know why. I don't care, because I need a whole new front end. And then some other stuff is, my car is really dirty right now, but I pulled out the style bar. I didn't want it. I didn't like it. It was ugly. So I straight pulled it out, and for a while the car felt really naked. It felt weird driving because there's no style bar. Some other stuff is the super high idle it was almost like 2,000 for a while, but I adjusted the idler in here and it's down to like 1,100, but it's still running a little rough, but it has a misfire. This is not plugged in. That's cool. That doesn't even really clip in. I don't know what that goes to. That might be my IAC, my idle air control, but I think that's the IAC, so I don't know what that is. Throttle position sensor. So my throttle position sensor is unplugged. That's cool. I still have no air filter. That's sketchy, dude. Look at that. Get that autofocus. It doesn't want to focus. Like freaking, there's no sleeving. Alright, so I'll catch you when the car's cooled down a bit. Get these old plugs out. It's still hot, but I'm impatient. Huh? Yeah. I'm really bad with my directions. It's unthreaded, but I freaking nah. Dang, that's warm. That's already warm to the touch. Ooh, I wonder if I have one of the magnet sticks. So we're gonna be checking out the condition of these plugs to kind of see how the engine's running. Because for anyone who doesn't know, if you want to see how your engine's running, checking the plugs is like the first thing you should do. They'll tell you so much about it because they actually go into the cylinder and you can just take them out in just a few seconds. It doesn't take very long. So checking plugs is always like the first thing you want to do if you want to see how your engine's running. Mine, I think, is running rich. And burning oil, because mine burns oil. Not like a whole bunch anymore, at least for a while. It was like smoking up. Oh, that's hot! It was smoking up a storm. Let me see if I can reach with this. My now rusty needle nose pliers, because there's somebody around here. He having fun.
It kind of looked like the Miata.
Oh really?
Miata, yeah.
That's not long enough. That's nowhere near long enough. Let's see. Yep. I don't have one of the magnet sticks, but this will fit on the end of a spark plug, and it has a magnet on the bottom. It'll help you unbolt the spark plug all the way. This is hard because I don't want to touch nothing because everything's freaking hot.
Oh, it's all good. It's just a little scar. Not that bad. See, yeah. You don't got that rubber thing.
Nope. I also don't have a strong enough magnet to pull the end of a spark plug out. Ooh. I could feel it grabbing on, but it doesn't want to hold on. Yeah. Alright, so I got the spark plug out, and it is burning a lot of oil, like a ton of oil. I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but it's burning a lot of oil in there. But, other than that, it doesn't look like carbon buildup is too bad. So, I don't know, there's also some gunk on it. Gunk? But it doesn't look like the carbon buildup is too bad on there, so I think I need a motor rebuild. I think it's my valve seals.
The hell?
Anyways, I think it's my valve seals. So a lot of people are saying that, you know, it could be my valve seals. They say it might be my rings, my piston rings, or my cylinder wall. But I'm banking on the fact that it's my valve seals. That's what I'm hoping it is, at least. Ugh. I got the first one out so easy, and then this one's... If I drop it one more time or cut to when I get all the plugs out. Cut it. Alright. We got all the old plugs out. They're all pretty much the exact same. But...
Should we clean out the cylinders before we put those in?
Sure. I just tried to do this right now. I looked at it, I was like... Alright. So, it's time to get the bottom of my hood all dirty. Because I'm going to crank the engine as soon as I pull the fuse to the fuel pump. Because I don't want to just start shooting gas all everywhere. This thing is useless. There's no sticker on it. Tell me which one is a fuel pump. I could just unplug all the injectors. I'll have fuel pressure, but the pressure won't go nowhere. I think we're gonna have to take a second cut again. Figure out which one of these dang things go to fuel pump. Alright guys, so I ended up looking up where the fuel pump relay is. And that's when I found out I already knew. And it's probably not up to code, but mine just kind of dangles here. They said it was the freaking yellow connector. And I don't think that one's it. I think this one's it. And mine just kind of hangs here. So I'm gonna unplug this, and the next clip, it'll just be me cranking the car and trying to shoot all the gunk out of the cylinders. And then I can show you the relay since you want to see it wherever you're at. Alright guys, got the relay out. Now it's time to start cranking up this bad boy. And see what comes out. I'm not gonna be able to see it, which sucks, but
I'm gonna stand wait. Yeah, there's nothing coming in.
Well, I mean, that may be pretty good. Yeah, put your finger over a hole.
Oh.
Ah, you just turned it back. Datsun. It's 300ZX Datsun. He has his headlights on his freaking color change. It's pretty dope. Alrighty. Time to install fresh new plugs, start this thing up, and hope it runs a little better, at least for a while. It should, but then I'm gonna end up needing new plugs again when I rebuild the engine someday, or just buy a whole new one. This is a short nose crank 1.6, which I hear has a lot of problems, but then I also hear that they have the same problems as other Miatas. So I don't really know. There's a lot of stuff about these cars. There's so many people who have their own preferences that you can't believe any one person. You got to make up. You got to come up with your own conclusions. You got to come up with your own conclusions on what you feel is the biggest problems based on your experiences. You never believe one person, especially when it's some kid on YouTube. Those are the people you really don't want to believe. Because they have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
What about you?
Except for me. I'm an exception. Because I don't have a lot of subscribers, so I'm not corrupted by money. Because I don't make any.
Ah, true.
Alright, now I'm going to tell you what to do. Even though I just told you not to listen, people. Finger tight first. Finger tight with, you know, don't use the ratchet end. Because you don't want to break one of these off inside your cylinder. Because at that point, you're screwed. You gotta remove everything. Everything. I've never done it, but I've seen it happen, and it's not cool. Auto class, 3 years ago. Kid cranked on a fucking plug. Broke it. Broke the damn plug. on the cylinder head we just put on.
True. Some kid broke our freaking valve.
Somebody broke a valve?
Yeah.
A whole valve?
Yeah.
God, I spent like 3 days polishing valves because our teacher was like, not good enough, go back.
I know, right?
Come on, man!
Mr. Kerr was pissed when the kid broke the valve. I was like, oh,
God, I remember a kid dropped the freaking, the forward on the brakes.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, it's nice and quiet. He's not even in there, we're just working. And I go, don't! And he comes waddling in on his chair and he's like, what happened? And he's like, I dropped it on the brakes. He's like, get another jack, numbnuts. And he was like, but then he's like, you know, this was a perfectly good running car when we first got it. And now there's a hole in the gas tank, brakes don't work, engine won't start. And he's like, and nobody's driven it, it's just been kids working on it. And he's like, they've literally tried to work on it and broke it more than it was before. I was just like, ooh. Literally all that kid had to do was take a tire off and put it right back on just to show that he knows how to do it, because that was one of our lessons. It was switching a tire, and he couldn't do it. He messed up on the simplest thing. One girl did it. She did it wrong. She put the freaking tire on backwards and had the valve stem inwards. But
what?
She still got the tire on.
Remember that one kid broke his arm on the machine?
Ooh, yes.
Ooh.
A kid in my class almost broke his arm. He was like, ah, and I kicked his foot off the freaking air pedal.
What an idiot.
He panicked and didn't know what to do. And he just left his foot on the pedal and just kept twirling and twirling. And so I ran from across the room. I was at the freaking sandblast thing. I kicked his foot. And it was like, psst, and stopped. And he's like, oh my God.
Noobs.
I never even touched that machine. I was like, fuck that. After hearing a kid broke his arm and then seeing one almost break his arm, I was like, I'll take the F on that one. I'll take the 0. I took that 0.
Man, Mr. Kerr forced me to work on that thing.
I ended up, when I worked at Pep Boys, I had to use it. I had to use one. It's not that hard. I don't see what them kids did wrong. Alright. I don't have a torque wrench, so I'm going to give it just a little quarter turn. Maybe a little more than that, so I can be safe. I don't want to hear a whole bunch of BS. I took the plugs out already. I now no longer have a vehicle to go and get a torque wrench from AutoZone. Alright, look right there. That's where it's staying. Alright, if I have a problem, that's on me. You don't gotta tell me I'm stupid. I'll feel stupid already when my car's like, come on, get on the freaking, there you go. Alright, so maybe I didn't tighten this one as much as the others. It's still twirling, and there you go. Maybe some of them are not as tight as others.
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't have a magnet strong enough to get that. Here, I'll just... Oh man, this is barely even tight. There, look. Ah! I bet y'all the car will start. Don't even talk trash. Hey, it's not gonna start yet. I got some relays to plug in. Some spark plugs.
So is it like good Titan?
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do?
Yeah.
What if you like freaking Hulk Titan it?
It'll probably break and then you're gonna have big problems. You'll probably never get that spark plug back out.
I might as well just
Well,
buy.
I would never, because I don't have the tools and the means to do that.
Just ask Mr. Kerr for some help.
I don't know where the hell Mr. Kerr is at. He's teaching computers to little kids in junior high now.
Oh yeah.
God, he's teaching computers. Dude had a flip phone and barely knew how to use it. And now he's teaching kids how to work on computers.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had a flip phone.
Yeah, let's talk trash about it. For a second I thought I lost my relay.
It's right there.
I was about to be like, I'm fucked. We gotta wait 2 days from Amazon. Ow! It was so nice outside this morning. It was cold. Now it's hot. It's not extremely hot, but it's hot.
Moment of truth.
No, I still don't have the relay in.
Oh.
I'm moving the wheel out the way. This is why you get a quick release. Also, the previous owner who painted this car, which it was already black, and then he spray painted it black and gold, did not use primer on anything. Nothing has primer. Look at this. See this wheel with this gold paint right here? Everything just comes right off. Man, I feel bad for whatever chump bought this car. Oh, wait. Hey, look, it runs and it drives. It doesn't run great. It drives terribly because these Raceland coilovers. But it runs and drives.
Piece of shit.
Where's your car?
Huh?
Where's your car?
What car?
Exactly. Why do I have to pick you up right now? All you do is talk trash.
It's cool looking at the struggle.
All right. Got that lifter sit?
All right, so everyone, this has been a couple days since the last clip you had seen where we changed the plugs and everything on the Miata, and I want to let you know, I gave it a couple days. It's running fine. It's not misfiring anymore. It idles even better now, obviously, because it's not running so rough. I can hit high RPM, and there's actually no smoke coming out of my exhaust back there. Autofocused on my hand. And it still has that, you know, when you rev it out, it'll shoot water out. I think I just need a new hose. I'm sure that one's just old and split. And can actually show you the reason it's been a couple days since I recorded this last clip is because I wanted to give the car a minute to see if maybe oil would start getting back on the plugs and kind of mess them up again and just have the car idle, rough, and misfire again. But that actually hasn't happened. And I also went to a car meetup for Streetcar Takeover was here in Arizona. It was pretty cool. I could probably insert a clip of a Mustang that I only recorded one car on the dyno just because I actually ended up meeting the previous owner of this car, one of the previous owners, and this car has been through so many changes. When he first got it, the steering wheel was a stock one with no airbag in it, and it was just completely rusted out where you see all the support. And he actually put this quick release on a couple years ago, and there's a picture of it. Not gold, because it wasn't originally gold, and this was not all torn up. What's some more stuff? He had a soft top on it with glass. He had it with glass. I believe it was kind of torn up here though, but when he bought it, it had no top at all, so he at least put something on, and then somehow it ended up, you know, with this. The carpet wasn't torn. There was a metal plate, which I knew it. There's a metal plate here, and this janky switch that actually broke. You see the negative came off, and now the switch just kind of flops there. It had like a nicer switch over here on a metal plate. They took that out. That's been long gone. But yeah, I'm gonna start the car up and show you a quick idle of the car and show you that it's all working fine. Still have that lifter tick, especially when it first starts. As soon as oil gets there, you can see. I don't think I have any footage on my last video or last videos of the car idling. It used to idle way up at about 1800, somewhere between there. So now it's back down to 1,000. It's really smooth. I'm sure if I sit on the wheel, it'll shake a little bit. Yeah, but if I were to do that before, I'd be shaking really, really bad. And a little update on the mileage. I am at 275,815 on the original motor. So, there we go, before I roll back, because there's no e-brake on it. So before I completely end this video, there's going to be a clip at the end, hopefully, of that Mustang. It was pretty dope. I think they had said it put down something like 600, and there was an SRT4 swapped van, old like Chrysler van, that made
think it was 390 horsepower and 480 foot-pounds of torque. There's just tons of cool stuff. I wanted to get footage, but it was kind of a last-second thing for me to go. One of my buddies who was there with his supercharged Miata, he had told me, he's like, hey, you should come, and I had no idea what was going on, and I was running some errands, so it was mostly just pick someone up, drop them off there, and obviously Miata's only got one seat, so that's probably really close. So I had to do all that, but when I got there, it was still live, and then we ended up cruising. I can also put in the clip of me and him on the freeway. Also, his car put down 150 horsepower to the wheels with tons of boost leaks. He ended up finding them after he got off the dyno way later. He was idling his car and he noticed there was some wind, he could feel the boost leak when he feels around. You can feel air coming out. So he fixed that and his engine started running way better. It wasn't so rich. It started leaning out a bit. Not leaning out bad, but leaning out to the level you want it to be at. And he strongly feels like he put down 160. A little bit more after that. But he recorded us cruising, so I guess I'll insert those 2 clips at the end. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.